Hey peeps, happy new year lovers. How the friggin' hell are you? So excuse me, I have just got back from the gym. I smell fresh, but who cares? Like really, who cares? Hey, just gonna get that screen all G's. So I'm just gonna do a quickie. Actually, it might not be a quickie, but whatever. I hope you're having an amazing day today with your whānau, with your family, with friends, and really being present with whoever you're with, like really connecting on a whole different level. So today I'm going to do a shout out about New Year's resolutions and have they worked for you in the past. And if they have and you're saying yes, then stop watching. This video is not for you. This video is for people like myself that have made New Year's resolutions and failed miserably. And I'm just going to go through what New Year's resolutions are for me, and as I said on my post, I find them very, very wanky because while it feels good to shout it out and at that present moment it feels good, but then, you know, for a small amount of pleasure, I guess, or to tell the world, and then it's basically disappeared. So I like to look at it as New Year revelations. And so I'm going to have a quick chat about that. My name is Patty Ann Waho. I am a soul and intimate connector. So I get you to connect with your own intimacy and your soul, and then really know how to do that within yourself and then with those around you. Ultimately, the lover within comes out and shines and as sexy as and juicy as you can be. So I'm doing a live from my bedroom where all the action happens. No kidding. Most of the action happens in the kitchen, actually, for me. But I'm going to answer this question today because obviously it's of relevance to a lot of people wanting to make their New Year's resolutions. And I'm just going to share what it feels good for me and how it basically works for me and what I'm going to do for 2019 and how you can basically shape it so it fits for you. So obviously because of what I do for work, I'm going to really concentrate on relationships. And so personally for me, I remember when I was married, and excuse me, I've got a hair in my eye, and every year I would make a New Year's resolution because my relationship wasn't working, and I would make this New Year's resolution and it would fail miserably. And I did that. I remember I did that for, hey Anne, how are you? I remember I did that for probably 5 years in a row. And it really, I felt like shit, I think, within, by the mid-January, because I had all these expectations of what I wanted to achieve. But in a relationship, obviously it takes two to tango. And it just didn't work for me, and I'd feel like shit. And so that's for me for relationships. Lots of people, I do talk to lots of people, and they either don't think about it. So one, they don't think about it, or the second one, they overthink about it, have these huge expectations for the relationship, and then it fails miserably. So for me, what I want to teach you is how do you connect to yourself so that it oozes out of you, and so that you'll start attracting the right relationships, especially in business and in the lover department, and you'll just feel better because it's all about connection, congruency, and having the courage to do that. I know it sounds awesome. So for me, for me, what I've done for just when I was thinking about it, and because basically resolutions, you think about your past, your present, and your future. So the past, most people concentrate on what hasn't worked and what you've failed miserably at. And then you make these grand gestures of what you want your next year to be. And sometimes you change it sometimes you make changes so huge that you're still off the count, off the mark where you want to land. And so I always like to use for me, I like to tweak something and then rinse and repeat that. So if something in your relationship's not working, don't try and change the whole thing all at once. Do baby steps. I'll give you an example. If you want to, for me, I've always wanted to lose the baby fat from having my children. My baby is now nearly 14. and, and for me now, instead of saying I want to lose 10, 20 kilos or whatever it is, it's not about that, because that's too huge of a goal. So for me, it's about going to bed early. And that's really, really hard for me because I'm a bit of a night owl. But when I do go to bed early and get up at 5:30, I have the most amazing day because my day starts right. I'm not feeling fatigued. I go do a beach walk. I go to the gym and I just feel amazing. So today I did sleep in, but I still went to the gym. So for me, I'm going to tweak it this year because it's something small. It's something I'm already doing. But I want to go to bed by 9 o'clock and get up by 5 o'clock and go do my meditation and then be at the gym by 6. Smash it out with 1 hour, and then I'm home, can do the kids when they go back to school, breakfasts, lunches, all that crap. And my day's starting by 8:30. And for me, when I start right, the rest of my day just flows. So for me, my tweak would be going to bed early and then getting up by 5 o'clock. So that's my tweak. So, and that was all to do with my health, and then it's like a domino effect. You start feeling better, you start, make connections at the gym. Oh, I'm getting all breathless because I'm so excited. Baby, yeah. Sorry, Anne's just wrote a message. And so for me, it just flows. The day just flows. And I need to do exercise because my mind is even tweaked even more right for me. And that's how I do my flow. Now in relationships, if you're in a real shitty relationship right now and you want to completely change it, most people have got a list of what's not working in the relationship. So I encourage you to show courage to really concentrate on perhaps 10 things that you would like to tweak or that you could do yourself that would improve. For instance, if you are, if you are in a relationship that, as I said, is not working, by looking after yourself, and this is when the self-love comes in. I know it's a saturated word, but by really looking after yourself, it just flows. I know when I'm nourishing myself, my whole world just changes. And for me, that's really, really hard because I'm a school of service, which is something my friend Luann does with her hands. And so I am a person that forever gives, just forever gives. And I forget to look after myself. And even for mums, that's a huge thing as well, that we forget that we are important. Whether you're a mum or a dad or don't have children, we have to put ourselves first. And especially if we do have kids, because then we're teaching them. We don't have to say anything, but they're just watching us. I know for my son he always pulls me up. He's my 17-year-old. And kids do expect us to do a lot, I suppose, because we've set up that precedent. And when I say no, it really gives them the shits. And they go, "You're so selfish." And I go, "Yes, I am. I need to put myself first because I'm teaching you how to do that." And I can see the cogs in their brain clicking over. They don't get it, but they do get it. And I had saw my mum for all of her life be this martyr and just work so hard. And that didn't teach me anything of value. And you'll know the difference between when's the time to give and when the time is to pull back and look after yourself. So the next one is even in work. For me, I've got an accountability buddy. I started at the start of December. So I think lots of people think today's the day to do their big, huge New Year's resolutions. As I said, it's just so wanky and a waste of time. Just do little baby steps. And so I started mine a month ago with having an accountability buddy, and myself and Tarek, a very good friend of mine, we check in every day, give each other 1 to 3 things that we're going to do in that day. And oh my God, it keeps me on point, keeps me accountable. And if we don't do it, we have to pay a fine. And so I actually didn't do it, I think, day one. And I had to take him to the movies and shout him. And, yeah. So I like to do things because I want to, but to pay a fine, yeah, it really annoyed me. So I won't be doing that again. So if you're going out and you're single tonight and you want to get a bit of love and action, I'm going to leave you with this one. Yeah, love and action. Just try to be as conscious, and I do mean that on a spiritual level, but also a physical level. I mean, if you want to get drunk, all good, but just make the wise decisions that you're not going to regret the next day. I mean, I've had my fair share of one night stands, and yeah, you can feel like shit the next day, or you can just forget about it. But those were my exploring days. Those days are gone. But if you are out there on the prowl, so to speak, you know, honor yourself and value your time that you're sharing with that person, and that you are a special being, and you just don't want to give your gorgeous energy away to anyone. And I'm not saying be a prude, but really like connect to who you are and who you value. And for a little bit of home play, for me, I've written a list of 10 people that made a difference to me in 2018. And I've started writing a message of how they made an impact in my life. And so I'm going to share that with them tomorrow. I'll be texting them individually. And I think half of the people actually triggered me and pissed me off. And then I just realize the lesson in that. And so I want to thank those people. So it's not going to be all lovey-dovey for me, but these 10 people made an absolute impact in my life, and I want to honor them and thank them. So if you want to send messages to people, don't do the generic, message that you've copied and pasted. Really put some thought into it when you want to send messages to someone. I received a message from a person that used to massage me. I don't think she does it anymore. And it was the most beautiful message, and you could tell it was the language that I use. Actually, no, I received 3. Yeah, today and yesterday. And you can see it was the language that we talked to, and I haven't spoken to them for a long time. But they were honouring me, and so I'm like, oh my God, that's so spooky. I was writing a list of the people that I found that I want to thank, and then these people were writing it to me, and I was like, shit, that is spooky. Because normally I just get generic texts. Yeah, it was, and the message, it is beautiful, Anne. And the message I got, I was like, oh yeah, wow, because we all need reminders of how amazing we are, and it's beautiful when it's spoken from someone else. Just to give us reminders of how we make a difference in the world. And when I read this message, I was like, oh, big loves to you, Jackson. And I think Amy, and I'm trying to think of the third person. So I hope that really, really helps, and if you're struggling right now and any of this resonates with you and you've got this burning gut feeling, not from drinking or eating too much, but you're like, you know what, Patty, I'm really wanting to take my life to the next level. Message me, connect with me. I will put a link there so we can have a korero, a talk, just to see if we can work together. But what I do, the kind of people that I work with, that I love to work with, and what one of my gifts is really identifying your sexual identity. This is not the space where you might think that you're gay or straight, but how you identify yourself with sex. Do you use it as a bargaining tool? Do you feel less than when you're not in a sexual relationship? Do you make it mean something when it comes to sex? And it's a subject that I just love working with those kind of people that really want to understand what's going on with them, and then basically opening up that Pandora's box and really showing them what it means for them and creating that new normal. So I've got 2 ways that you can work with me. I have a 12-week program, and obviously we need to have a chat, and so that's why I offer a free 15-minute call to see if we resonate and we can work together and if it sounds good to you. And then the other one is an online program which I'm releasing at the end of January, finally bringing your sexy back. And so, and yes, that means were sexy and then you lost it, and we're going to go and find it together. That is an online program in a group setting. And the other ones are one-on-one. So I will put the link under the Facebook message, and I will be sharing this on YouTube as well, so you can contact me that way. But I really, really hope that if this does resonate with you, that you're going to show courage, that you can reach out to me, and then we can have this connection, and then your life will be congruent. That's a big, huge thing for me, is to live a life of congruency, because when I'm not, it messes with my head. So be kind to yourself, my lovers, and really look after yourself and your whānau, your family and your beautiful friends, and tune in till next Monday at 11 minutes past 1, and we'll have another conversation. Take care, people.